Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I might be doing a mistake. I'm kind of thinking about other things today, mainly the fact that today is November 2nd, so it's voting day. And as I mentioned before, this is this is an issue for Shakopee because we have a operating levy being voted on, and today is the last day to do it. And it's, I have no idea how this is going to go. I am concerned that it won't pass. And there's no way to know until we do the tally tonight and see what happens. I'm very concerned if this doesn't pass. I don't know what people who are voting no expect the school district to do. Just pull money out of the grass? I don't know. This could have an adverse effect upon our community. So yeah, it's kind of a stressful day for me today. And, that doesn't help with trying to focus on technology things, but that's the way it is. So needs must, as they say. We'll see. I mean, tonight we should know. And we're going to just have to react accordingly. I mean, obviously, if the vote comes out as being yes, I will be very ecstatic and I'll be very happy. If it comes out as being no, it's going to have ramifications that I don't think people who are voting no on will really realize what's going to happen. So anyway, maybe I can get myself lost in a feature, which is this one. This is me at Rocks looking at changing how make works. So right now make is also a source generator. But the reality is it doesn't have to be. In fact, I whipped up an example using DispatchProxy, and this seems to work just fine. So what this means is that I can actually do something like this under when you call rock make. It would just return what DispatchProxy create would do with this interface, always passing this as being the proxy. And a make shouldn't have any behavior that you rely upon. Doesn't matter what the setters and getters do for a property. Doesn't matter what a method does. It shouldn't fail. That's the thing. So if you set or get or call something, if the method has out parameters, it should still all work. Okay. But, that's it. The performance doesn't even matter this. And this is kind of a rare thing to do from Rocks anyway. You really should be using rock create for most of your things. So I want to give this a try and see what it's like and make sure that it works in all the cases that I've got tests around for a make right now. The one other thing though I wanted to look at in here real quick is in the tests. Like I said, there's this one test that I have in here that is Cogeneration Tests. And so I'm in here going generate creates for base, generate makes for base. So that's generate for base class library. Well, this is going to be interesting. So there's always something else, isn't there? So I want to keep doing this because I want to make makes to make sure that they still are makeable, if that makes sense. Though I don't drive them, I just say, can I make it? And that should be the same case for all of these. Okay. And then if there's some weird case, like I'm not doing an out pointer type or something like that later on, I can try to handle that and deal with that. But for right now, it's just, let's make sure that this works correctly. Okay. Now, the interesting thing here is that I'm passing in a source generator as the generator. And so where does that come into play? Because I basically, I don't think I need that there. You create a driver and then you run the generators and update compilation. So that would be the case for creates. For makes, it's a different story. I would still kind of run through this code here to get all the discover types. And so maybe I can pull that out into a shared method. But then to see, can I actually create it, would just be trying to invoke rock make with the type that you just found and to see, does it actually just not fail? And I don't see why it would, but that should still work. So we'll need to keep that in mind. Rock make is what should still be there. It's just the generator is going to go away and we'll literally return what we're doing from there. So we're literally going to return a proxy, dispatch proxy from there. So let's try this. This is the fun of Git. We're going to create a new branch, which we're on main. 152, is that the number? I think that was what I just saw. 152, yes it is. Use dispatch proxy for make. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come into rocks and we're going to create a name make proxy. Yes. Now the other thing too is with any tests, like down here, rock make generator tests, they're now just going to be rock make tests. And so these actually now would become real types, and I would have to make sure that the make of it doesn't fail. You know, I think that'd be fine. Okay, so let's grab this code here and that. I don't know if it actually has to be sealed. I believe it has to be not sealed, if I remember right. And at some point I'm going to, because we're a week away, I'm going to have to get this up to .NET 6 and, you know, just do the right things. Okay, why are you taking so long to load suggestions? Install package DispatchProxy. Well, that's interesting. I didn't think that there needed to be a separate package for this. Oh, shoot. Huh. I just realized something. Yes, because we are a .NET Standard 2.0. So that makes somewhat of sense. Let's actually go into here and say manage NuGet packages. And so this is system.reflection.dispatchProxy. And we're in the wrong package. Let it do its search. Provides a class of dynamic proxies, blah, blah, blah. So this is .NET Standard 1.3. That's interesting. So that should work. But it's not part of... Give me a moment. Dispatch. C# dispatch proxy. Did I have that in the notes here? No, I never gave a link to dispatch proxy. So this is, it's in .NET 5, I believe. So this is in system reflection, and that's the namespace. And for .NET 5.0. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, sugar. I did not notice that. So this may be a really, really short episode. Because with a source generator, you have to be on .NET Standard 2.0, not 2.1. So am I going to pay myself into a corner by using this? I'm not very confident on doing that right now. Now it does exist in 5, but again, that's not the problem. The problem is that it's not standard 2.0, it's 2.1. So the one thing I would have to find out is with generator projects and packages, can they target 2.1 in 2022? Or like the real point is, how long are we going to be trapped for things like analyzers and generators so that they can't target 2.1 or even just .NET 5? Because the code window is WPF, and that's targeting, and they load .NET Framework, and 4.8 is only standard 2.0. So that's as high as you can go. You know what? I'm going to pause here because at this point, I don't really know if it's worth even going on with this episode, so it'd be really short. But I do want to do some hunting around, and I want to see for 2022, can you target 2.1, or is this always going to be perpetual? So I'll be back. Okay. I think I can get this to work because what I realized is, I don't know why I didn't see this before, is that this package itself targets .NET Standard 2.0. In fact, it targets version 1.3. So if I include it, we're good. What are the updates here? Oh, yeah. Kind of makes sense. So I think I can do it. I have to package it though correctly, because if I look, this, you have to, you have to say, it's down here. Yeah. So you have to make it private, and then you have to do generate path property, and then you have to do package that thing, and then pack and this, and yeah. So it's not impossible. I think I did this with the WebAssembly thing I did before, the generator. It's just kind of a pain. I actually posted something to the Roslyn group on Discord and said, are we perpetually stuck in .NET Standard world for like the foreseeable future? And the reason why is because you go to .NET 5, you go to .NET 6, you go to .NET 7, the diff between the two are just going to start to get bigger and bigger. Now, arguably within a source generator, does that really matter? Maybe. I think the compiler itself has to target 2.0. So they're just as limited that way as anybody else. They can't use stuff that is in a newer version of .NET. But at some point, I would imagine that's got to switch, because you may want to do stuff internally that you want to use and you can't because you're not targeting that runtime. I don't know. Maybe it's a problem that's just going to be there in perpetuity for many, many years. I don't know. But I think we're safe. I think we're safe if we do pick that. Did I not? Oh, come on. I mean, it was going to be smart here anyway to say, oh yeah, what you needed was, and now you need to think about it again because, reasons. Come on. There we go. Yes. And then once you did that, everything should work. Yes, it does. Okay, and then we can just say var there. Any other problems of stuff I did? No? Good. Okay. So can we say here name of array dot empty? Yes. Okay. That's good. And then there we go. Can it be internal? I don't want this to be public. I want this to be, well, let's just try it. Internal. I don't think it can be sealed though, but it can be internal. All right. And then what we're going to do is in rock here make, what we're going to do is we're going to say, what was it that I had in my, that's not the thing. That was where I was looking for. Here it is. So then I just say return DispatchProxy dot create, giving T, and then the make proxy. Okay. Now what are you barking at? Oh. Yeah, well, that's going to change. So now we're going to just have a T. Yep. So we don't break the interface. Well, we sort of do. We're actually going to be breaking a lot of things by doing this, because we're going to be, makes are not what you should be using anyway in rocks. So part of me, it's like, I just don't give a crap. Maybe this is just my bad attitude today. I don't know. But yeah, it is not doing a make expectation, because we don't need to do, there is no such thing like as a make expectation. All it did was, I think, give you an instance, and it would just return back the thing. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So the next thing we need to do is in our rock make generator, comment all that out because we're no longer going to do any of that. Rock makes receiver. We're no longer going to do any of that. And I think everything up in the builders with the make, all this stuff goes away. I mean, that's the one advantage of this too, is that whoosh, a lot of this just disappears and we don't have to generate this anymore. So, but the reason I do it for the create is because I want to handle a lot more cases for expectations. That's where it really does matter. So this builders create, all this is going to go away. And I don't think we have anything else anywhere else that has to do with a make per se. It's possible, but well, there's a make expectations, isn't there? That's what I was just commenting out. I just said, no, you're not make generation. Yeah, that's probably going to go away. So let's actually keep track of all the things we're going to nuke. So get rid of make generation. What else? Rock make generator, rock make receiver, rock make generator, rock make receiver, and builders.make or /make, all the stuff in there. All that stuff goes away. And I don't think there's anything else. The make proxy's got to stay because we just added that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that saves. Okay, now here, rock make generator test is going to go away. Rock make receiver tests go away because we don't need those. And cogeneration tests have to be updated so rock make works correctly. Okay. Integration tests. Are there any makes in here? I think all of these, I don't think I ever do this with a make. I think all of these, if I do EFI looking for rock.make in the current project. Oh, well, I'm wrong. Yeah, make with no parameter. And now it's barking because you don't do an instance on it anymore. You don't pass in anything. Which just made me realize something. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't think of. Which is up here. When I say DispatchProxy create, derives from class tProxy and implements interface T. So this is, okay, you know what I just did? I just realized this isn't going to work. And the reason why this isn't going to work is because this is for just interfaces. What happens if you want to do this with a type that is just a class? You could arguably say, well, then I would just create it. But what about an abstract class? What happens if I would want an abstract class that I needed to return? So as much as I would like to do this, I am really rapidly realizing that this is probably just not going to work the way I expect it to. And that's okay. That's sometimes when you do these investigations, you find out it's just not going to work. I guess the one thing I am curious about is there's no way to say like it has to be of from like a generic constraint. Okay, yeah, so the exceptions would be T is a class, or the proxy is sealed, so that's where it or does not have a parameter-less constructor. So yeah, if the thing you had a public constructor that had arguments, which an interface wouldn't. So guess what, folks? You can say that this is a failure because I failed to implement a feature, but actually it's not. It's just realizing using a dispatch proxy is just too limiting for what I want to do. And as much as I would like it because it would eliminate a lot of code that I would never need to support, the fact of the matter is it's, the code that's actually generated for a make, that there is, let's just go through this real quick. There's that. And then there's this, which is something, then there's this. So there's something, but it's not like, and there's some code here. There's no doubt about it, but it's also much more flexible than what I have with DispatchProxy. So I'm going to keep this episode, and that means you're going to see it. But the funny thing is that this isn't a failure because you try something out, you'd make a branch, and then you realize, no, this didn't work. And that's okay. I'm just going to delete the branch and close that issue and say, it's just not what I need. And then we'll try something else. So live and learn. Wouldn't life always be as grand as you can say, hey, did I try this? And, oh, whoops, that didn't work. Oh, I'll just delete that branch. I'll just roll back time and start from here, and then I can move on. How awesome would our life be if we could do that? Just make branches of our life, and then, just say, well, that didn't work. So we'll just delete that branch and try something else. Your life is a Git repository. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.